Rev Sharon Flynn, and she is a minister here at the chapel. And she's been a minister, but she's been a member since 1994. Some of you weren't even born then, were you? In 1999, she became a Novitiate Minister, and she was fully ordained in 2002 under the auspices of our charter church, the Church of Enlightenment. She has owned and operated Hypnosis and Healing Centers since 2002, locally and in other areas, using her gifts and abilities as a spiritual director and consultant, an advanced energy healer, a certified hypnotherapist, and a teacher of classes and workshops. For 25 years, Sharon had a professional background as a radiology technologist in the medical field that helped to shape her natural healing abilities and understanding of the human form, of the human anatomy. She is a minister who oversees spiritual healing, teaches spiritual healing classes, and she also facilitates our seasonal celebrations here at the chapel. We just had one not so long ago. She has experienced the past tense, several near-death experiences, as well as numerous expanded spiritual experiences that guided her on this path of alternative healing modalities and facilitating change and soul growth for others. And as always, we're happy to welcome her back to the podium, our speaker, Rev Sharon Flynn.
Let's see if I'm tall enough. Am I on there? Do I need to bring it down? I'm on there.
Let's see,
okay.
where's your head?
Everybody's taller than me.
Do you want me to?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Betty. So she reminded me that I got something in the mail because I'm getting ready to draw my Social Security payments. It was a nice little jewelry box. So that's good fun.
Old enough.
Yeah. Age is certainly a frame of mind. So let us pray. Father, Mother God, Heavenly Creator, I ask that my connection to Source will be abundantly connected to the wisdom that is needed for everyone here today, here in this church, as well as beautiful energies that are on Zoom. I ask that the purest form of this channel, of this work, will come through. And we ask this in Christ's life, in Christ's name, amen. So good morning, everyone. Gosh, we became fall overnight, didn't we? I love it. I love the fall season. So we're into what I would say collecting abundance of what we have sowed over this whole year. So I was asking Source to be of help to me to unify and connect to the wisdom that is needed. And I was giving four pieces of energy. So the first is what I'd like to talk about today is how the ascension process is affecting our bodies and our intuitive abilities. Number two, how the old wounds are showing up big so we can clear them. Number three, the perception of time has significantly altered our reality. And number four, the need to unify and come together to help in holding the light for each other as the changes occur around us. So how the ascension process is bringing up old wounding and affecting our bodies. So we're in a crisis of change, of letting go of the old. And that means down to the cellular level. And that also this is also part of the cleaning out of the recesses of old wounds that are not only connected to this lifetime, but these old wounds are connected to the ancestral lineage. And if you want to know more about that, there's a beautiful book that is by the guy that did the constellations, Mark Woolen. And the book is It Didn't Start With You. And he talks about eugenics, that we are passing on from one age to the other, one child to the next, our great-grandmothers, our grandmothers, our mothers, wounding. So, and they also, I noticed they pop up when the wounding was happening. Let's say grandma had a wound at the age of 40, and all of a sudden you have that same wound at the age of 40. So just know that you're clearing out old wounds that are across the board at this point. So one of the things that I would like to say is that when you come across your wounds, take it slow. No need to hurry through it. Allow yourself this time and do your part in paying attention to the intention of your emotions and your triggers. And the source is find your core pattern and forgive again and again. As Nolan Renish, which I miss him here, but he will come back and I'm sure speak on Zoom for us. He did this wonderful radical forgiveness talk, and listen to that again because I feel like that is essential. And then buy the book and do the work in the way that is working for you. So the most important part of this healing is forgiveness for yourself, for your actions, and for others. See this all is like a learning experience of how to shift the old programming of judging, comparing, and the needing to know why. And one of the things that the needing to know why, that what there are, it's not needing to know why what our wounds are, it's needing to wonder why we had that experience, that we get caught up in the victim energy. So that is something that I would like to have shifted. If that is my, let's say the path to doing this healing is to needing to know why is what did you learn about it? So that's how I would look at that. So it's super important to know that our body is being affected by this ascension energy. See, we're being bombarded by lots of particles of light. I'm sure I mentioned neutrinos before, and these are particles of intelligent light that is connected to God's love. Do they look different to you? No, but my encouragement is to do, and what I'm sharing with you is what I do. I sit outside when the sun comes and hits one chair on my deck. That is my time to go out and meditate. Let's see, what time was that today? It was probably more like 7:45, 8 o'clock. And I allow every particle of light to surround me, connect to me, and fill me up. We've all been on the beach before. We can feel the warmth of the sun coming into our body, and it feels warm and connection. It may be a feeling, it may be a visual, it may be connection to that energy. Whatever you intend when you're in that is what you're going to receive through that light. So intend abundance, attend love, and intend that connection to peace and harmony. So that would be something that would be more along the lines of, if you do it every day, if you put that energy into you, you have a beautiful source. And if it's raining that day, you can do it with your imagination. Your imagination is not, it's abundant. It's just as if you have connected to the light. So that is the intuitive effect on the body is expanding more and more. So you're going to get more sensitive. You will find things in your life you just don't want to do anymore. You will find people that you may not resonate with anymore. You might find that you like to stay home more. So whatever it is, just trust in your guidance. This is a very intense time, especially in the last couple of weeks. And I don't see it shifting. I see it's carrying us to the abilities of being able to communicate one-on-one without saying a word. It also connects us to the wisdom, and it's giving us a guideline of how to exist in this reality. So I'm moving on to number 3. Perception of time has altered. It's very wonky. And you can create however you want time to exist. If you are running late, you just ask for the time to slow down. If you're right on time, you can utilize the time by doing like a little prayer. So it's very interesting. It's speeding up and it's shifting our vibration in order to accommodate that speeding up. Let me explain that, because that's very confusing even for me. So we're in the present moment in the 3D world, and time in the past has always kind of gone slow. We had plenty of time to do things. We've had, life seemed to be always kind of flowing with us, and we were flowing with it. Not anymore. We are in a vibrational shift in order to accommodate that speeding up. Yeah. I was in my office the other day, and it was like, okay, I know I'm in my office. I know I exist on a different plane when I work, and I work, pretty intensely for days on end. And it doesn't end when I get done with work either. And it's kind of like I could see myself, part of me. So we're 3-dimensional, and we're 4-dimensional, and we're 5-dimensional. So the 3-dimensional self is sitting in my office. The 4th-dimensional self is in a connection to source, and my 5th-dimensional self is like walking through a portal and just going through the portal and just allowing myself to be pulled through. We are being pulled through a new paradigm, a new way of operating here. And we have to roll with it. Okay, that means that when we accommodate that speeding up, it's also, life seems to be always in an urgent mode, if you would, always moving, always rolling to the next event, to the next situation, to the next thing to do, until we finally go, oh, I'm so tired. I've just got to go to sleep. So, so just feel that this very fast pace also does one thing. What does it do? It disconnects us from ourselves. It moves us from one event to the next. And it's almost like we can't catch our breath. It's like we're running. And one of the things I find is that it's harder to be doing that and being in the present moment, because in my head, I'm already getting ready for the next event that's going to occur after I've just left that person, or while I'm in that person. So it's like a roller coaster ride, and I would love to get off this roller coaster. But what I believe is that we are being pulled to a higher vibration, because our purpose here on this earth is colliding with the shifting of this time. I believe that it's true for everyone. So if you realize that everything's ramped up because we're not in the 3D time anymore. We're not. Our physical form is catching up with it. So yay to us being here. Yay that we are being used as a purpose-filled connection to time, to spirit, to this ascension process. We wouldn't be here if we didn't sign up for it. So, and I'm moving on to the number 4, the need to unify. So when time has sped up, when we are changing our vibration, is everybody changing their vibration with us? No. Everybody has different levels. It's sort of like, okay, I'm going to go to the 5th floor and I'm going to stay there for a while. And then when I'm ready, I can go to the 6th floor in this building to connect to people that resonate with me. So you'll find people, situations, old habits that you have are all kind of fading away, disconnecting. You will find that things that served you, made you feel good, they're not working anymore. And that's okay. That means that we're changing. That means that we are elevating to another frequency. So as that feeling of needing to unify, the first and foremost part that you need to unify with is yourself, your energy, the connection to God. That's the highest priority right now. Sure, you can help others, you can be of assistance, but you can't do that if you don't connect to yourself and be in the present moment and finding your connection to your soul and your intuition that is growing. So I always look at it as we're not who you used to be. We're not who we're going to be, but we're in this present moment and need to stay in this present moment to connect to who we are, because we are, kind of look at it as we've got coverings around us that are like glass, and one glass cover will break and dissolve and create another connection to our source. And then when we're ready to the next glass container, that is going to be breaking up. So really, when you think about it, this is a very exciting time. It's a lot of work on our end, but we signed up for it. We have the energy, we have the gifts to do it, we have the abilities to do it. They'll come in if you take that intention. So self is first, then being in the present moment, regardless of what you have to do after that. Okay. Really intend, I'm going to be in the present moment and hold that space for that person, hold that space for your animals, hold that space for your house, whatever it is. And the other part of unifying is to find your soul family, because finding your soul family will enhance your light, and your light will then enhance theirs, and then you will have this beautiful energy of being held. And, that's what chapel does. Chapel is gathering of soul families, of like-mindedness. Doesn't mean we have to agree to everything that everybody believes. It means that we are holding the light. We are in that space of connecting to one of each other and holding that space for them in that light. Everybody has different opinions. Everybody's had different experiences, but down to the core, we're connected in the soul family, and that we want to be accepting of the person for who they are, where they are, and to just know that you can be a light for others. And I've seen it happen over and over and over. People that resist, let's say, family members, and sort of like the gathering of a dinner. And if you are resistant to them, then they will continue to be resistant to you. And so when you send that light and you send that connection of, that I'm going to look at nothing but what love they have and what love I can give them, then the whole experience is going to be different. So it's very important to connect to self, to recenter every day. Know that the changes within us are taking place every single day. The changes that are through this ascension process are intense and not generally perceived. And when I say that, when you go back to look at friends that you used to hang out with, and then you go connect back to them, you'll realize that if they haven't gone through their work that I call, ascension process, that you will find that they are in a different place than you, and it feels strained. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't send light to them, but it's just not a connection. And you can bless them, and you can hang out with them when you want. It's totally up to you. It's totally up to you how you handle that. So with all this energy and all this energy coming in, how do we cope with this space that we are existing in? How do we find that, people are working, people are busy, people are just doing everything they can do in their world to maintain? And so the first thing that I would advise anybody to do, if it's not only for 10 minutes, to get outside and have a connection to the earth. It could be grounding. And that means that you sit outside, you can put a blanket down and connect to the earth. You can put your back up against a tree. You can walk through nature. But it's best to actually have no rubber on your shoes, which is next to impossible to wear shoes now because everything is made out of rubber. And rubber disconnects us from the earth, by the way. So if you can go barefoot, that would be highly advisable. The energies, the minerals come up from the earth, and just you can just go out and observe nature and its wonder. You know, nature is a reflection of who you are. You're part of the whole matrix, and this is the new matrix, not the old matrix that's coming in. So somehow we've been programmed to feel not enough to connect to source, or feel we can't do it. So that has to do with a mindset. It's sometimes all we have to do is just close our eyes, connect to the light, connect to the earth at the same time, and you will get glimmers and glimmers and glimmers of more expansion within you. You know, we all have the capability of receiving the light, and we all have connection to receive the wisdom and to the knowledge. It's just our ego mind. And when I say ego, that means that it's the naysayer. It's the one that likes to start the judgments and the criticism. So when you center back to your heart with gratitude, you'll be back into your connection to the source. So be present for yourself, and know that that way we can let it go, because it's so time for us to let go of that mindset. I look at it as, on a personal level, I can give you an example. For some reason, since the time I was 18, I do not really like to drive. I'm not one of those people that maybe had lots of experience in driving a car. I was 18, I bought my own car. I went down to DOV and I got my own driver's license. So I have had many experiences of being anxious around a car, driving long distances, and certain places that are very busy, that are way into the metro areas. That is not my cup of tea. And so I know I have that fear. And I don't know why I have that fear. And I acknowledge that I am working through that fear. So one of the things that I do with that fear is I look at that I'm driving in the light in a tunnel, and everybody else has a light next to them. And I love when I create that in-between state where there's all these cars in front and all those cars in back, and I've got the road to myself. So you can do that. So there's ways to create and work through the old paradigm. I do believe that I had either somehow in my past lives, I had people escort me wherever I did need to go and I didn't have to think about it, or I teleported. I'm going to go with the teleportation. So this is just something, you know, we all have something that limits us and restricts us. It's okay. We can work around it. One day I'm going to get on that train and go see my son in Washington, D.C. You'd think, oh, that's not far. Oh, beautiful. But that would be a help for me to be able to travel without having any, you know, issues. Well, fear, anxiety. And I'm not an anxious person by any means of imagination. So with things like that, be present with yourself. Figure out ways that you can overcome those. It may be that a friend wants to go to DC and wants to ride with you. However it is, you'll find your tribe. You'll find your own way to overcome these old programs of fear and lack. So finding your tribe right now is a priority. Finding your own truth and listening to your heart to navigate this new terrain, because that's really faith connection to your truth is the priority, really, because the only way we're going to navigate and know any of our own truth is to connect to ourselves, to connect to our heart. Know that I mentioned this before, places and people that do not resonate with you, please bless them and place the light around them. And you can do a lot of things long distance by saying prayers and just thinking about their presence. And the other one thing that I would like to share with you is that every one of you are an anchor of light here on this earth. Everyone on Zoom, everyone here, everyone that is connected to this spiritual path is an anchor of light. You are here because you will anchor the light in unison. So be the light for other people. And know that as you creating that anchor of light would be like creating a lighthouse in your home. And the lighthouse will go up to where the foundation of the grid, it's a structure around the earth. You connect your lighthouse to the structure, however that may be. You can go 300 feet above you, 300 feet below your home. And that lighthouse has a broader base and it just goes up. I like numbers that are synchronized to spiritual wisdom. So 22 feet down and 11 feet when it comes up, and it has a pyramid on it and it has an angel watching over. So use that lighthouse as a way. You can have one in your home. You can have one in your work, wherever your desk is. And you will find a huge difference in how you perceive your work and your life. So be the light. And I want to end with this little affirmation. I am the light. I am the love. I am the peace. I am the truth. I am. And that will go to the beautiful lady her name is Blossom Goodchild. I added the peace though. So many blessings to everyone, giving you love and expansion and challenging each one to connect to all the tools that you have within you. Many blessings to you. Thank you.